I was a bank manager for over 8 years. I dressed in a suit Monday through Saturday. I didn't want to wear a suit on Sunday too. I wanted to wear my sneakers. I wanted to wear my jerseys. I wanted to feel comfortable. And I've been to churches where it feels like the moment you walk in, oh, nah, he's not. He doesn't look appealing to maybe our recording. Yeah. We'll sit him in the back. For the church to feel that they're not dressed up, that can become a problem as well.
Yeah. Church abuse. We're talking about church trauma.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What are the red flags, right? What are the red flags that someone can be on the lookout to say, is this healthy? Is this toxic?
Right. I think one of the things, and it's funny because I saw a clip about it today, was that some churches, they don't communicate, I think, to their volunteers that, you know, there's a limit to how much you can serve. You know what I mean? I think our church does a pretty good job at telling people, hey, serve one, sit one, right? That's our mantra. Motto. That's our motto. That's what we live by. And our lead pastor, like, he's the one that checks, hey, you know, you're here all day and that's great. I love that you're here all day on Sunday, but have you sat?
Right.
You know, and if it's not him, one of the pastors on staff is going to ask you, have you sat today? Because I see you running around everywhere. So, and I'm on top of, you know, the people that serve under me. I tell them, I'm like, hey, go sit. Oh, but I know that we're short. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Go sit. Mm-hmm. You know, because I care more about you as a person and you and your spiritual growth and what you can offer me on the team. Yes. Am I struggling? Yes. Do I need you? Do I need your help? 100%. But if I am going to put your talent and your skill over your heart and your soul, then I'm the problem. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where some churches mess up, and they don't check in with their volunteers, I guess. Like they don't do a temperature check. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not like, hey, how are you? How's the family? How's your marriage? How are the kids? How's work? Yeah. You know, I see you here a lot. I see, you know, you're serving a lot. You're here and you do a great job. But, you know, but how are you, like, spiritually? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I don't really see you sit down a lot, you know? And people do notice those things, but then nobody just has the initiative to go and check in on someone. That's why I think is one form that churches may I guess church abuse is that, like, you know, they just let people serve. Mm-hmm. They might put their skill and talent over their heart.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely seen it happen. Yeah. And that's why even for me, I had to make it a point to make sure that I create that disconnect. And I must say, you know, to Rene's point, I agree, because I've seen him say it. I've heard him say it. I mean, I've been one of them where he'll be like, hey, man, you sat already? And like, nah, not yet. Well, nah, go sit. Mm-hmm. You know? So I've understand that. And we need that, because in the same token, I've been part of it where we don't have that. Yeah. And then you hear, that's when you hear the staff, oh, I'm burnt out. Right. Oh my God, I can't do this all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this is too much for me. And then kind of the higher ups are looking down like, well, why? Why do you feel that way? Mm-hmm. This shouldn't be a burnout. This should be a refresh. Yeah. And we're just going and going and going, that a lot of times we don't have that opportunity. Right. And you have to create that. Another thing that I've seen happen, which was big with me, is, I mean, I worked in banks for years. I was a bank manager for over 8 years. Mm-hmm. So I dressed in a suit Monday through Saturday. I didn't want to wear a suit on Sunday too. Mm. Right. You know, I wanted to wear my sneakers. I wanted to wear my jerseys, you know, my t-shirts. Mm-hmm. I wanted to feel comfortable. And I've been to churches where it feels like the moment you walk in, then it's like, oh, nah, he's not. Mm. You know, he doesn't look appealing to maybe our recording or whatever. And it's like, well, sit him in the back or sit him at the top or whatever. It's like, sit him away from where they're gonna be caught, you know. So obviously for me, that was always a big thing, because the way I've understood it is God is, hey, come as you are. And, you know, we'll take care of the rest here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for somebody not to dress up or feel, or for the church to feel that they're not dressed up, you know, that can become a problem as well. So legalism.
Speaking specifically again about, you know, that those are good signs, right? When people care more about, like, if the first thing they do is look at you and make a decision about you based on how you look, that can be a sign, right? That there might be something off. I think another sign is kind of going along those same lines, when churches sometimes care more about what you can do than what we can do for you. At the end of the day, a church is meant to serve. We're here to serve people.
Right.
So if you come in, it's your first time, and it's like, hey, that's awesome. You want to go to growth track? I want to get you plugged in because, man, I could really use you on the safety team.
Right.
I've heard that sometimes. And I'm not saying that church is abusive. I'm not saying that person's abusive immediately, right? Because we've all made that mistake. Like, man, you would kill it on this team. The heart posture, depending on the person, might be okay. But sometimes you don't know what people are going through.
Correct.
Sometimes, like for me, man, I'm glad you made it. Next step, come back next week.
Right.
You came back the next week, great. Bring somebody else. Like let's give them some breathing room, right? Because I think when the moment someone gets to the church, if you immediately like, hey, can I get you on this team? Can you go through growth track? Can you? And don't get me wrong, our church does that. We point you to your next step if that's where you want to go, right?
Correct.
If not, come back next week. We always say another thing. Money is a big, sometimes taboo issue in churches, and we always say if it's your first time here, and I think you guys do that. So
yeah, we do. Mm-hmm.
Don't feel pressure to give. Right? We want this to be a blessing to you, not what you can give us. Right? And sometimes churches are all about, what you can do for us. And really, Jesus came to serve, not to be served. So that's one sign. Another sign that I think when churches might be abusive is like when the pastor can do no wrong. Right? It's like if the pastor has just yes men around them and they don't have people around them who can hold them accountable or over them. Right? Like I always find it curious when a pastor doesn't have a pastor. Like if a pastor is not talking to someone weekly or monthly, someone that he's accountable to, right?
Right.
Those are red flag or maybe yellow to red flags for me, right? Because who's holding you accountable when you mess up? Who's holding you accountable when you said a theologically questionable statement? When nobody's perfect. Maybe you had an off day. Maybe you got that wrong, but somebody needs to check your pulse. Somebody needs to be able to tell you, hey, pastor, you've preached for 48 Sundays in a row. I need you to take at least 2 Sundays off. You can't go the whole year preaching, right? When I talk this with my pastor a lot. Like there's pastors who, man, they're 80 years old and they're still preaching. Bro, it's like you gotta pass the baton.
We gotta hang up that jersey, old poppy.
For sure, yeah.
Hey, listen, like we gotta pass the baton. Like nobody's meant to. The only thing you're meant to do for your whole life is being married to your wife. Right. Outside of that, your children are gonna leave.
Love people. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Correct.
But yeah, we're talking about different signs. I'd be so curious to see, to hear. These are the moments where I wish we had like a live audience or live Q&A to hear like people's experiences with like signs of when a church might be abusive or might be abusing people. And again, abuse is a big word. So don't hear where we're not saying, there's different types of abuse. There's sexual abuse,
100%.
There's emotional abuse, there's mental abuse, there's spiritual abuse, right? Because there's a lot of spiritual gaslighting. I've been told, oh, well, maybe you feel this way because you haven't spent time with the Lord, and sometimes that's it.
Or I heard comments too where people were saying, he or she's not holy enough.
Yeah. And so we just got to be careful with that, because not everything is black and white. Correct. Not everything is like, oh, because you haven't been spending time with the Lord, this is why you're not coming to church. Right. If they don't come to church for a Sunday, oh, they're probably sinning. No, you don't know. Maybe somebody passed away in their family, right? Correct. So that's why a lot of times what I try to check myself with, if I'm checking in on someone because I didn't see them, hey, how are you? Are you okay? I didn't see you. Not, hey, you didn't come on Sunday. You should have told me. Next time, let me know. No, man, check on them first.